are you today?
I'm good. You just dipped a little bit before the recording started. What
Yes,
happened?
I can do fancy stuff.
Okay, okay. It's actually very fitting to our topic today, which is, can I come to work as my full self, or do I need to adapt a role? And what does it imply? Each of
Yeah,
those decisions, right? Would you say you come to your work fully yourself?
most of the days.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I'm not sure that you can be at any time your full self.
Yeah.
It feels for me more like we have different coats that we're wearing for different occasions, and I cannot wear all of my coats at once.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I mean is like when I'm around my family, of course we're talking about different topics and I'm a different personality. I have a different coat on. When I go into work, I have a different role there. I have different expectations that people have around me towards myself. I'm wearing a different coat. But still behind the coat, I'm the same person. So I'm going to all the places the same person.
It's good that you say codes because it reminds me of the business attire we have or we used to have. Like now I feel we're a bit more
Say
relaxed.
more, say more.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for example, wearing a suit and tie still sometimes feel uncomfortable because I'm assigning it to a stiff financial, sorry to all those if someone listens from a financial industry, but to the financial industry, like very stiff, very formal. But I appreciate that we kind of put ourselves more into some like business attire, right? But it still needs to fit my
Yeah,
personality,
yeah,
right? Of course, I can do also whatever what all the other people are wearing. I can do that too. But yeah, it's wearing a coat. It's also it's adapting another identity. And the question is that so? No, it's not another identity. It's really a code. You're right. I still have my own identity, right? I don't adapt another identity at work. No.
yeah. It's more what you're projecting also to the outside. Because people look at you, they are judging automatically who you are, what, and they're basing it on what you're wearing, how you look. So give them a chance that their picture of you matches your own picture that you want to portray.
Yes, I mean, and this reminds me of a keynote in Dubai I did, where I decided I had a suit jacket and a black shirt and sneakers, and I was on stage, and the keynote was well received. I talked about agile, I talked about organizational change. Everyone was clapping. There was attention all the time. I was in no photo this year, and
Oh, okay.
and I realized that all the other people in this conference, they had brown leather shoes, brown, and a suit, sometimes a tie, not always.
Yeah.
And this gives me a conflict in myself, to be honest, because it should not be about what you wear, but as you said, it's really something what people are perceiving. Even like maybe photographers, they want a professional picture or whatever, right? But I adapted this mindset that I don't want to distract people from what I'm saying. So
That's a cool one. Yeah.
if I go to an executive meeting, I will wear a suit because
Yeah.
I feel that it is expected. And even if they don't, I feel good about it. Or if I go to a
Yeah.
first workshop, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to wear it all the time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe I can quote Cody Sanchez here because she's bringing up this study time and time again, where she says that if women are wearing makeup in the workplace, they earn at least 10% more than their peers who are not wearing makeup.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's horrible, and at the same time, it's so easy to get the 10% more.
Yes, but it's still horrible that people
It's
are.
still horrible, yeah,
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 but it's good to know. It's good to know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
have to know these rules to be able to play with them, right?
and that's what you said a couple of times. You have to know the rules to break them. And speaking of rules, it's also dependent on the group, the project, the assignment you're in.
Your
Um,
environment, yeah.
so you have a code and you have a code book, basically. So if you're in an environment where it's highly political, you will also change the way you speak. You don't
Yeah.
change your identity. And I guess it's a very important point. If I know myself, I know also my various roles and codes I wear at work. And what I keep is my values. I keep my principles. I keep, yeah, like my integrity basically.
Yeah.
But I have to adapt, right? And a lot of people struggle with this, I have the feeling. Or they're not sensible enough to say, okay, this is the meeting. I should maybe just communicate on this flight level and not on this flight level. I don't know what you think about that.
Let me add that if you would have known me through work like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, you would have known me differently than today.
Mm-hmm.
Because nowadays I allow myself much more to show my heart also in the workplace
Mm-hmm.
and also show that I'm a person with emotions and that I care, which was something that I thought in the beginning of my career that was unprofessional and
Mm.
that I had to kind of masquerade or dress up as being perfect, as being stoic, untouchable, and that was being professional. And I realized it might be professional, but it's keeping you away from being able to really connect with people. And that I enjoy it really, really much more to be able to show what I really care about, to show that I care also for the other people, and to have an honest interest in them. And that's why I also consider bringing my whole self to work means letting them see that I care, letting them see my heart.
Mm-hmm. Where did this original picture of professional attire come from?
I guess from a lot of movies. So let me confess here. So my former favorite movie was The Godfather,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked how mafia stuff was portrayed in there, and for me that was how you could do good business, how you could be successful as a businessman. And I copied a lot of mindset from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not to say that there's anything great, heroic, or special in mafia business. I mean, the mafiosi said at one point that the Godfather films were the best advertisement for the mafia they could ever get.
Mm.
So it's not portraying reality. And still, it was a very, very successful movie. And I attribute it also to the way that they depicted business and respecting other people, not talking about other people's secrets. Yeah, that's something I still do to this day, which I can attribute still to the movie, which is
Mm-hmm.
like not talking about other people's confidences
Yes.
towards others.
This is something I learned from you in the last years, and I really appreciate this is a trait you have. It's
Yeah,
a
it's small
real
thing, but so not to make too much advertisement for The Godfather here.
no, but the first movie I had in mind was The Devil Wears Prada,
Okay.
where she's coming out and she's having like this nice coat. Well, they're not nice
Yeah.
because they're from animal, but she has this attire and she has like the boss attitude, right? And
Yeah.
and everyone loves her still because she's a mean character,
Yeah.
but like when she's on the street, people are like, oh,
Yeah, and people are looking forward to get her attention. They're seeking her attention out a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's crazy, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, so it's a fine line. And you said professionalism. You define professionalism for this. And it's really there is. I guess it's also a lot about what you say, and when you say it is what professionalism is about, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is an a-hole to you, and then you will not go in a meeting. You will not maybe not say anything. You will maybe talk to HR or the team leader, right? But
Yeah.
it's yeah. People and this is maybe also another illusion is to say if I don't I feel that people sometimes hold back to say something because it's not professional, but it's maybe just what kind of room do you create for it? Maybe you have a one-on-one with this person, and then you take them out and say, "Hey, I have an issue. I really felt attacked by you," and dot dot dot. Right. So this is still professional. Um, and
Yeah.
maybe in the friends context, you will say, "Hey, what did you say to me?" You know, like
Yeah.
you're,
What's wrong between us? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, what's wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I truly believe that we still should bring our own self, but as you say, wearing these different coats.
Yeah. So what you said is really about trust, and trust is built between people individually and not between, like, for example, a group. And what I realized lately, when we're now having all these AI assistants taking meeting minutes,
Hmm.
that people don't speak so openly as they did before because they know that there's a machine recording what they said. And formerly, they were trusting you as a person and they had their confidence in you that you would keep the stuff that was more confidential out of the meeting minutes.
Hmm.
So it couldn't be attributed back to them.
Hmm.
And that actually led me to reconsider using AI meeting note takers. And I openly at some meetings now say, hey, today Gemini is not taking notes for us. You can speak openly.
Hmm.
And people applaud to that sometimes.
Do you have a tip for someone who comes at work and who maybe feels more introvert, more shy, or attributes those attributes to themselves? Do you
Yeah.
have a tip on maybe be more outgoing or whatever the goal might be?
So I'm an introvert myself. So what works for me is you get different feelings from different persons, right? So I'm looking towards, is there a person that I consider to be nice, which
Mm.
I want to talk to more than to the others? And then go a first step in that direction and open up more to that person or talk to that person. And getting back a good feeling, which you will normally get, helps you then to open up to more people. So it's like building on each other.
That's a very nice tip. It's almost like when you're presenting, you look into an audience and you try to find the nice faces, right?
Yeah. How
Yeah.
do you do that?
In presentation, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your tip for giving a great talk and working with the audience?
Telling a real story. Like if you have a topic and you want to bring across like the important points, find a real story in your mind which really happened like this, because you will never ever kind of get off track.
Yeah.
Because this is what I learned when I did the presentations and the keynotes is we're really attracted to stories and their storytelling techniques over and over again. I just recently heard one, um, and it's really bring people along. But for me, I would go nervous if I would forget something. So I have this mental story in my mind to what I want to tell. And then if there are questions, I can still continue my story. I'm not necessarily telling a story, but I have this in my mind. So if I want to introduce myself, I have a story of how I grew up, how I built the company, and then in the next topic, I have a story how I did the project or whatever. And that's one of my tips I do. But from an interaction point of view, it's I find it really distracting if you look at all the people, like
Aha, like one by one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
realized someone did this in the last workshop, and I was so taken away. So you say you look into three dots in the room, like three people. If you look at three people, you look at everyone basically. Um, yeah, that's one of the tips.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the what you always hear again, that when you're giving a talk, you should imagine the people in front of you being naked?
Never helped me. I
How
mean, depends
ridiculous is that? I
depends on
mean,
the
I would be
audience.
so
It
much
even
more
would
nervous if they were naked, right?
it would also distract me depending on the audience. So
Yeah.
no, it's being naked. It's maybe linked to an embarrassing feeling, and that people would be embarrassed to be naked. But No, honestly, but I cannot really judge about it because I never had a problem presenting. So maybe I'm the bad.
Maybe also this crazy tip goes back to the code idea that you
Mm.
should imagine the people without their professional roles and seeing them as being people and as their identity.
What I realized what makes me insecure is when people don't show emotions or don't show general interest. And
Yeah.
I really work on this when you have some person in your private life or in your work life, you tell a story, they don't seem to give a freak, you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, am I not interesting enough? But I realize that it's maybe not about me.
Yeah.
And it's also it's your state of the nervous system, right? So when you are in a nervous system which is very, very attacked, and you present something or you talk with someone, you will feel more insecure. Definitely.
Yeah, and at the same time, you shouldn't have the ambition to reach everyone. I mean, there's always like a bell curve of people that you can reach, and at the far end, there are always some people that you can never reach because they might be in their own world, they might be confronted with problems you don't know about, and that take their whole attention. So I wouldn't necessarily put it onto your talk or your presentation or yourself,
Yeah.
but just accept it as a fact that you cannot reach all people.
Yeah. But it also means that these kind of states of nervous systems or like bad thoughts you have when you come at work, it's normal as well. And you need to find techniques to manage it, take yourself out for a 1 hour or two. I really feel that a lot of people are rushing from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to
Yeah.
meeting to meeting. They don't take a break. And if they have a break, they take a colleague for coffee. Can work, but also it doesn't help you to stay very productive all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sprinting all the time. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
And
cannot really grow.
you need to walk as well. How would you summarize our like take on coming to work as a whole?
I
Not a
would
whole,
ask
but
you,
a whole
I
person.
would
Sorry.
ask you a follow-up question
Yes,
on
please.
if you're in a position where your other parts beside work are not going well and you're really struggling, what should you do considering the work context?
It's definitely not to work. Sometimes for me, at least, it helps me to focus on work. Maybe it's finding a trustful friend or partner to call, or maybe a colleague at work, depending on your trust, and also prime this in a sense that if you're in a meeting, you say like, I'm maybe not 100% today, maybe 80%. I have some personal reasons. You don't have to share them,
Yeah,
but that will give you also some softness in the discussion,
yeah.
right? I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I love that because people are in general quite understanding if they know why. So if you come in and you act angrier than normal, people are like, what is happening? Why is he or she such a today? But if you frame it and say, hey guys, I might be having some difficulties today to show up like I normally do. Like you said, I'm having some personal problems. I apologize for that upfront. Then people give you also then
Exactly.
more space.
And as a leader or as a team member who is conscious about this and you're feeling this and the situation is giving it, you can also ask.
Yeah,
I sense something is not 100%.
yeah.
You want to share? Like also proactively open this door, right?
In a one-on-one setting, of course, not in front of the whole
Well, in a
team.
one-on-one setting, or would I say, like when the situation, like if there's a very trustful, high trusting team, and you have these conversations all the time, you can also do it in a team. But obviously, preferably in a one-on-one setting because you can control it better. Yeah,
Yeah, and also because maybe the other person doesn't want to open up in front of the whole group because you have different levels of confidences with the different people.
yeah, true.
So, That was an interesting conversation.
You sound surprised. I'm kidding.
No, because I wouldn't have thought about the code analogy before we spoke.
Yes.
It was
But
like
that's,
a spontaneous picture that came up.
yeah. And this is what sometimes happens, right? When we talk to people, that these ideas come up and we cannot even prepare it for themselves. So it's good that we're not over preparing this podcast and we let ourselves go with the flow as well.
Yeah, I have to write that down. Thank you very much, Stefan, for this very interesting conversation.
Thank you, Karen. And thanks everyone for listening and have a wonderful day.
That's the end of our episode. If you liked this, please like, share, and subscribe.